You are watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftacademy.com. www.netsoftacademy.com.
Welcome back to AZ-500 Beginner Series. In the last module, we explored how to manage identity and access in Azure using user, group of users, roles, and also we discussed RBAC. Now, in Module 3, we are shifting our focus to securing the Azure platform itself. That is, the infrastructure layer. This is where you protect your virtual machines, network, and access points. So let's get started. Let's start with some of the core concepts of Azure resource security. Well, in Azure, first off, resources include things like virtual machine, storage account, database, and more. And securing these resources means protecting them from unauthorized access, malicious traffic, and potential misconfiguration. Well, there are multiple layers of security in Azure. That is network-level security, platform-level security, and identity-level security. But in this module, we are focusing on platform-level protection. Things like firewall, security groups, and protected access path to your infrastructure by using Bastion. So here we can start with the first service, that is NSG and ASG. Well, this is a key part of securing your Azure network in your organization. Here, NSG, which stands for Network Security Groups, are services which helps you to control inbound and outbound traffic to resources based on the rules you will configure. For example, you can create a rule to allow HTTP traffic to your web server, but you can block the RDP or SSH access unless it is defined by you. Or you can open RDP port and close all the other ports if you want. Now, NSG gives you granular control over, let's say, one network card or NIC or the whole subnet. But on the other hand, ASG helps you to group VMs together by applications or function. Here you apply ASG and group VMs together, and then NSG's rule will be applied on the whole group instead of managing rules for individual IP addresses. This makes network security more scalable and easier to manage. Then we can move to the next topic, because NSGs are great for basic traffic filtering, but for more advanced protection, Azure provides Azure Firewall. Here, Azure Firewall is a stateful cloud-native firewall service that supports high-level functions and features like filtering traffic by domain names, by fully qualified domain names, FQDNs, or by threat intelligence filtering. And it also maintains logging for auditing purposes. And alongside that, we have Azure DDoS protection, which helps protect your environment against distributed denial of service attack, that is your DDoS. It automatically detects and mitigates large-scale attacks on your public-facing resources. And for secure remote access, there is Azure Bastion. Here, instead of opening your RDP or SSH port to your virtual machine, Azure Bastion lets you connect to them securely through Azure portal. In this case, no public IP is required for the machine. This drastically reduces the attack surface and boosts up your security posture. Now, speaking of reducing the exposure, let's talk about JIT, or just-in-time VM access. Well, with JIT enabled, or just-in-time VM access enabled, you can lock down all inbound ports like RDP or SSH to your Windows or Linux VM, and only open them when needed. And even for a limited time window. And here you can also specify IP addresses. For example, if an administrator needs to access a VM, they can request access via Azure portal. If approved, a temporary rule is created to allow the access. After the time expires, that port are automatically closed. This feature integrates with Microsoft Defender for Cloud and is a best practice for securing virtual machines. So if you want to use it, you will go to Defender for Cloud and subscribe for this feature. Yes, you have to pay for it. Now, finally, we can talk about admin access. This is one of the most targeted entry point in any cloud environment. So let's discuss some best practices. The administrator have to access the environment. There is no other way around. So if the administrator have to access, then at least the admin should use Azure Bastion or just-in-time access. Plus, you can also enforce MFA for all your admin accounts and monitor admin activities through Azure Monitor and Log Analytics. This will minimize the number of users with high privilege roles. And even if there are some, even they need to take the permission, get limited access, do their job, and then the access will be revoked. Now, let's go to our portal and check out these services. All right, now let's check out how you can secure your network environment. So for that, I will create a resource first that will be a simple virtual machine. So I'll go to resource group. You can search for it, click on create, and I will call it demo in Canada Central. Click next, create. Now I will create one virtual network. And I'm creating these resources just to showcase that how we can use NSG and Firewall to protect the environment. So I need the environment first. Click on create. I will choose my resource group and create a VNet. I will call it just VNet. No need for security right now. I will add it later. And I'm okay with class A. Again, just a demo. So I'll call it subnet. Done. So once my network is deployed, I will deploy a test machine, just a virtual machine. All right. So let's go and create a virtual machine. And here is the difference. I will create this virtual machine in such a way that I will not open any ports, I will not configure any NSG right now. So we will not be able to connect with it. Then we will deploy NSG and open the specific port through which we will connect. This way you will see the importance of NSG and how it actually protects your environment. I'll call it demo VM, Canada Central. Availability is not required for this demo, so I will say no infrastructure redundancy required. Security can be standard, and for image, I will select Windows 10, whatever comes first. Again, this is not the stuff we want to focus on. We will focus on the security part of the network. So I'm using a standard operating system, standard security, no redundancy. And I will also select a simple size because I don't want high performance. But if you want to know how to create virtual machine and what each and every setting means, then make sure that you go to NetSoft IT Academy. That is our cloud, not cloud actually, that is our platform for computer-based training. It's our CBT platform. So I will select TS2 V3 is fine. Set up the local admin account. Just select a password for it. Now here I will say no inbound ports required. So there will be no NSG. For disk, I will not make any changes. Default disk is good enough for me. Click networking, select the network I created, and I will not add, I will add one public IP. We will connect through public IP. So I will add one. NSG, we don't need it. Click on management, no need to change anything. I'm not monitoring anything. No need for advance. Just create a machine. Okay, the validation passed. I will create the machine. Now, once this machine is deployed, we will try to connect with it via the public IP assigned to this computer. And it should fail because the ports are closed. So we cannot go through and connect this with this machine remotely. All right, the machine is deployed. Let's go to the resource. And we just need the public IP. I can just close the sandbox. I don't need it. Now, let's open RDP client and paste this public IP and click connect. And it should give us an error eventually. It will not work because the ports are the ports are closed. So now let's create our NSG and open these ports. So search for NSG and as well as ASG. They both are for security. Okay, go to NSG and click on create. Select your resource group. By the way, we got this error. I will keep it here. Now select the name, demo NSG. No need to add tags right now. Just create this NSG and it's almost done. So now creating NSG is not enough. You need to configure it and then you have to assign it to the right location. Whether you assign it to the network card or the subnet, it all depends on the scenario. If you want to target just one computer, then apply it on the network card. But if you want to target a group of computers under a subnet, then apply it to the subnet. Okay, let's go to this NSG and go to settings, click on inbound security rules because my request will be coming inbound to this machine. This machine is not going anywhere. But in case if this machine wants to go out, then you can set up outbound security rules. All right, let's focus here and click on add a rule. I will say source any ports, so that means the request can come from anywhere, from any port, and it can go to any destination. Just focus on the service. So if it is RDP, then allow it. Allow. Name RDP. And that's it. If you add this, the role is now configured. Now, if you want to enhance the security, then you can say, no, the source must be a specific IP address or a range of IP address. Plus, the request must come from a specific port number. You can also do that. But for the ease of it, I will just select any. Click on add. Done. Now I need to assign it to the network card because I only have one machine. So this is the actual name of the network card for the VM which I created. And that's it. You can also go to the machine and verify if the NSG is assigned or not. If you go to the machine and then click under networking on network settings, here you go. The NSG is now assigned to this network card. This is the network card. And this is your role. Okay, not role. This is your rule. Now let's go back and try to connect with this machine. And here we go. Just put your credential. And you are connected. Perfect. Now if you go to a browser in this machine,
Google data, I don't want all this. Okay. As you can see, internet is working and you are able to go to Google or any other website you want. Let's say you want to go to YouTube. Well, you can. Here you go. It's working. So now let's configure our firewall and also Bastion. So let me tell you. So I will keep this machine running, but remember, we connected with this machine via a public IP. That means the public IP is exposed here. And this machine have RDP port open to anyone. That is not secure. So let me just close this instance or disconnect and go back to our machine. Then I will go to the network setting. Basically, I will remove the public IP so that we can make this environment more secure. I will go to network card, then IP config, and in the public IP setting, I will just uncheck it and save. So I removed the public IP. And now you don't have any options to connect with this computer. And this is where we will deploy Bastion. Now, how will you deploy Bastion? Before that, you have to create a subnet for your Bastion. So I'll go to my virtual network, go to subnet, click on add subnet, subnet purpose, Azure Bastion. Actually, Azure help us with this. Click add. Earlier you had to type, I used to type Azure Bastion subnet, but now it is automatic. You just select your purpose. Now, how to deploy Bastion? Search for Bastion, click on create, check your resource group, give your Bastion a name, so demo B for Bastion. Availability, I don't need it, just a demo. Region, Canada Central. Tier, I will go with basic, which gives me 2 instance count, which is more than enough. Here you will select the network and your subnet will be fetched automatically. Now, Bastion needs a public IP. So I will create a new public IP, or you can also choose the existing public IP, but right now that public IP is still connected to a network card. So I will create a new public IP. Click next, next, review, and create. So my Bastion will be created. While my Bastion is being deployed, I will focus on Firewall as well. If you want Firewall, you need to create that service first. So search for Network Security Azure Firewall and click on Create. Select resource group, give your firewall a name, Demo Firewall, select your region. Now, if you want highest performance, then you will select Premium. But for this demo, I will go with the cheapest one. Remember, the Premium one gives you better performance and all the bells and whistles, all the features. Okay, I'm okay with basic. Now, firewall policy, I don't have any. So I will create a new policy. This is just a vessel. In this, you will create policy later on. So I will call it Demo Firewall Policy. Done. Choose a virtual network. Well, use existing. Demo. Now, 4 tunneling require with this firewall. Name this Azure Firewall Management. Well, I don't have this created. Now, before this, we can actually create a subnet for our firewall as well, just like Bastion. Go back, go to my network, click on subnet, then click on add subnet, purpose, Azure Firewall. Let's add it. Now let's go back and click on create. Click on demo, demo firewall. I will go with standard this time because if you go for basic, you also need another public IP for management. So 2 public IPs are required. My quota is limited, so I will only use 1 public IP for this firewall. We'll go with this, use a firewall policy, add new, demo firewall policy. Okay. Virtual network, choose existing, VNet. Again, not allowing me to do that. Management is still required. I will uncheck it. I don't need it. Okay, now it worked. So the network is okay. My firewall subnet is already created. I don't want another management network card here. Not the public IP. Cannot be associated. So demo VM was the old public IP. VNet is for our Bastion. So we need to add one more. So I'll call it demo firewall PUBIP, public IP. Perfect. Click tags, click next. It will be validated, done, and create. Now, Bastion and Firewall, these services can take some time to deploy. Maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So you cannot just go ahead and start configuring it unless the service is properly running. So I'll wait for both services to fully deploy. All right, so my Bastion is deployed. Firewall will take some time. So we can go ahead and connect with this machine via Bastion at least. So how will you connect with the machine via Bastion? First, you will log into your Azure portal, and then you will go to the virtual machine. Click on the virtual machine. Good news, Firewall is also deployed. Well, you will click on the virtual machine, and then on top, you will click on Connect, but this time not via public IP because there is no public IP. You will connect via Bastion. Over here, you will enter the credential, NITA admin, and the password. Now, your browser may block the pop-up. You may have to enable it. So on top, always enable pop-up from this website at least. Let's connect again. And here you go. You are now connected with your machine. Now remember, you are connecting via Bastion. So the front end of Bastion is your public IP. Not your, actually, it's Bastion's public IP. And then Bastion connects with this machine via private IP. So the backend is all private. And the YouTube is still working. Everything is okay. So this shows you the working of Bastion. We are connected. Now let's go ahead and block YouTube with the help of our firewall. So if you go to our firewall, then in the firewall, you have to go to your firewall policy. Because firewall, take it as an appliance, and policy is where you create your rules. Now, there are 3 types of policies you can create. That is your DNAT, your network rules, and application rule. Your firewall, the YouTube application falls in application rules. I will click on it and click Add a Rule Collection. I will call it Demo Rule. It is of application type. I will give it a number. This is just the priority. And I will say this is going to be deny. Okay, now this is where you create the rule. Deny YouTube. You can write anything you want here. This is just a name. Now, where will the request come from? Well, it will come from my machine, my VM. So you can put the private IP address of the VM, or you can put the wildcard if you are blocking YouTube, let's say, for multiple users or all the VMs. Star will be the wildcard. Now, what protocols you want to deny? I will say both HTTP and HTTPS. AD and HTTPS 4.3. Now, what do you want to block? Well, I want to block a fully qualified domain name. You can also select web categories. Let's say you want to block all the social media, then you can just select that. Instead of putting all the social media FQDNs one by one. You can click on here, web categories, and select whatever you want to block. There are so many categories there, and these categories are maintained by Microsoft. So these are pretty up to date. But I want to target only one, that is YouTube. Now, you can put star. This will block every website. So maybe you're creating some whitelist and blacklist, you can use star. Or you can say www.youtube.com, all right? But you know, sometimes they can put the FQDN, then slash, and they can go to subpages. In that case, you can also do star.youtube.com. Okay, once you're good with your rule, then you just add it. Okay, there should be a comma here. Okay, and add. So this rule will be added. All right, so rules are now added. Let's go to our machine and refresh. And as you can see, the YouTube still works. So what went wrong? Nothing. We just missed one part. Not missed, actually, I will show you now. So whenever you create any virtual machine in Azure, by default, that machine will go to the specific IP address where the machine will get the DNS resolution, its DHCP resolution, and also go to internet. And all this is provided by Microsoft. So if I go to my machine and click on network settings, then go to my network card, then you scroll down to help and click on effective routes. Wait for it. It is scanning all the routes right now. And as you can see, if this machine wants to go to anyone in the same network, the next hop is virtual network. But apart from that, if this machine wants to go to any IP address in the world, the next hop is internet. And this internet hop is provided by Microsoft. 0000/0 is just a wildcard to select all. Now, if this machine have direct path to internet, then it is not going through my firewall. Then how can my firewall protect this machine? So we have to create a route table to route this machine through our firewall to the internet. So I will go to type route table, then click on create. Okay, then click on resource group, select your resource group, select the location and demo route table. Propagate all the gateway routes. Yes, in future, if you want to deploy more subnets and networks, it will propagate automatically. Next, next, and create. Done. Now let's go to this route table and create a route. This is the route table. And I will go to settings, click on route. Add. I will add a very simple route to internet. Okay, destination is IP address. Now you have to add the destination IP address here. Now, if this machine or anyone who will follow this route wants to go to /0, means anywhere, the next hop is not internet, the next hop is virtual appliance. And here I will put the address of my appliance. So this route means If anyone wants to go to this address, we'll go to virtual appliance, that is firewall first. I'll open it in a new tab. I need the IP address of my firewall. Which IP address? The backend, the private IP address. So I will go to my firewall. And this is my private IP address. I will copy it and put it here and add. Now, once the rule is added, I will apply it to the subnet so that my machine have to follow it. So this is the subnet. All right, done. Now, if we go to the machine, whenever you do this, give it like 2-3 minutes, then go to your machine. Let's go to our network settings and check the effective route after making the changes. All right, now look here. The default route to internet is now invalid because a user route is now active. So anyone wants to go to any IP address apart from the virtual network itself will go to my firewall and then to internet, right? Okay, so let's go back to our machine and refresh this page. All right, it's saying connect to the internet. That means internet is not even there. Well, if you see here, internet is there, and I can go to, let's say, some other website. Let's try that. Well, this works, but not the YouTube. And even if I close this session, let's say I open a fresh session. Let's do that. And I go to Google directly, and then ask Google to take me to YouTube. Well, I can search for it, but let's open it. Not working. So this is how you can apply firewall in your environment to protect it from, not protect it from invaders or something like that. Basically, you are protecting your environment and people not to go to sketchy websites. So you can do that. Now, if you practice this on your own time with your own subscription, make sure you do it and then remove all the resources, because Bastion, Firewall, these services are quite expensive. You will use all your credits in no time. So once everything is done, then just go to your resource group and then delete it to remove everything.
Now let's recap what we covered in this module. We saw that how Azure protects resources at the platform and network level using NSGs to filter and manage traffic. We also saw how Azure Firewall, Azure Bastion can provide a secure environment. Well, we also saw that locking down virtual machines with just-in-time access is so beneficial. And applying these best practices will actually increase the security posture of your environment. Remember, these tools are built to help you to build strong, secure foundation for your workload on Azure Cloud. Now, in the next module, we will shift to securing the data, including storage encryption, key vault, and managing access to your stored information on Azure storage account. So stick around as we dive into data protection and storage security. Well, if this video helped you, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care.
Thank you for watching NetSoft IT Academy. 905-812-2923. info@netsoftakademy.com. www.netsoftakademy.com.